All right, section 4.7, we start working on hypothesis and hypothesis testing. So our essential question is, how do you write a null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis? So a null hypothesis, which we will write down as H0. There's a little zero there. It is the statement being tested. And the test of significance is designed to assess the strength of evidence against the null hypothesis. So basically, a null hypothesis is someone tells you that the average height of high school kids is 5'10". Okay, and then you can test that null hypothesis by doing some studies and saying whether or not that is a good estimate of the height or a bad estimate of the height, or how strong or how weak that is. And remember, the null hypothesis is usually a no effect statement. And we'll get into more of that later. An alternative hypothesis, which we will call HA, A for alternative, is the claim about the population we were trying to find evidence to support. So for example, if someone said the average height of all high school kids is 5'10", and maybe you think that that's too tall, that high school kids, the average height is shorter than 5'10", you would have to find some evidence for that claim. And that claim that it's less than 5'10" is called an alternative hypothesis. Finding evidence against the null hypothesis means we have evidence supporting the alternative hypothesis. So this could be either one-sided, means it's less than or greater than, or it could be two-sided, which means just not equal to. So in that same example, if they said the average height of high school kids is 5'10", and you just think that that's not true, you think that it's not 5'10", you just say, I think that it's not equal to 5'10", meaning it could be higher, it could be lower, but it's not 5'10". Okay, so let's talk about this. Example 1. An economist conducted a study of Virginia elementary school lunch menus. During the state-mandated testing period, school lunches averaged 863 calories. The economist claims that after the testing period ends, the average caloric content of Virginia school lunches drops significantly. So it's saying that the schools get tested to make sure lunches are good lunches, and they're saying that when they're tested, they average 863 calories. This economist comes in and says that, well, they believe that when they're not being tested, they give out different lunches that aren't as good and they have less calories. So the null hypothesis is the average they give you. They tell you that the average is, the mean is 863 calories. Okay, the alternative hypothesis is HA. Okay, and this person is saying that they claim that the average caloric content of Virginia school lunches drops significantly when they're not being tested. So they think that the average calories are less than 863. So the null hypothesis is the average they give you. The alternative hypothesis is what you're trying to test or trying to prove. And they're trying to say that it's less than that. Number 2, according to the Journal of Advanced Nursing, many women over the age of 65 use herbal therapies to prevent or treat health problems. Of those women who use herbal therapies, they use an average of 2.5 products per year. A reporter believes this average is wrong. It says state the null hypothesis and the alternative. So the null hypothesis is that the average is equal to 2.5 herbal products a year. The alternative hypothesis comes from this reporter. The reporter believes this is wrong. That's an alternative hypothesis. So this means they don't believe it's bigger than. They're not saying it's less than. They're just saying it's not 2.5. So they're saying it's not equal to 2.5. That's the alternative. So they tell you the average is 2.5. The reporter says, I don't think that's true. So the alternative hypothesis is not equal to 2.5. Okay, and we got 2 checkpoints. Checkpoint 1, weekly sales of regular ground coffee at a supermarket have in the recent past varied according to a normal distribution with a mean of 354 units per week and a standard deviation of 33 units. The store reduces the price by 5%. Sales in the next 3 weeks are 405, 378, and 411. Is this good evidence that the sales are now higher? So the null hypothesis is the average you're given. They tell you the average is 354 units per week. The null hypothesis is the statement that goes against that. So the null hypothesis says you want to find out, is this good evidence that the average sales are now higher? So is there enough evidence to say that it's higher than 354? So you're saying average is greater than 354. Null hypothesis, and the alternative in this case is greater than. And then we could eventually go on to try to show that it is greater or it's not. There's not enough evidence. And number 2 says the National Center for Health Statistics reports that the mean systolic blood pressure for males 35 to 44 years of age is 128 with a standard deviation of 15. The medical director of a large company looks at the medical records of 72 executives in this age group, and they find that the mean systolic blood pressure in the sample is 126.07. Is this evidence that the company's executives have a different mean blood pressure from the rest of the population? So is this evidence that the executives have a different mean blood pressure? So the null hypothesis is what we're given. We are given that the average is 128. The alternative hypothesis says, is this enough evidence to show that the blood pressure is different? Show that it's different, meaning that it's not the same. So they're saying it is not equal to 128. And that's all there is to it. We're going to find out what the null hypothesis is, and we're going to state the alternative hypothesis. And eventually we can get into testing that to see which one's right, which one's wrong.